Okay guys, so in this video I talk about why I annotate, how I annotate, my process throughout annotating, some tips on how to annotate, and I also show you a few annotated books and just share my opinion overall about annotating and show you what tabs I use and just everything like that. But before you watch this video, I want to let you know that I'm also leaving the resources. Again, I'm leaving the resources to the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm going to be leaving resources, petitions you could sign, and funds you could donate to. Again, if you don't have money to donate, that's okay. It's totally fine. But petitions are completely free, and it's completely free to make a change. So like, just sign the petition and it's completely free, and you're going to be making an impact for free. So I honestly definitely recommend. I'm doing my research and trying to find more petitions to link in the description down below. But yeah, so thanks for joining my video and enjoy the video. Yeah. Guys, so this video was not planned, but sorry for the cars. There's constantly cars going past my house. But I got this idea from Katie Reed's. Like, I've been binging all her videos. She's so sweet and nice, and just all her videos are entertaining. Like, but if you don't know who Katie Reed's is, basically she's a booktuber here on BookTube, and I'm gonna leave her channel linked in the description just in case you want to check her out, which I definitely recommend. But I got this idea from her channel because she did a video how I annotate my books, so I was like, let me do that. Basically, today in this video I'm going to be talking about why I annotate, how I annotate, tricks, just stuff like that. So I annotate because it's just fun. I like looking at books that are annotated because I feel accomplished for some reason, because I see all the tabs in and I'm like, oh my god, a work of art. Like, I don't know, I just feel very accomplished when I annotate my books, simply because it looks like I read it too. I don't know. Sometimes I kind of don't feel like annotating because of the pressure. Like, sometimes I feel pressure to annotate and I hate that. Like, I'll be like, oh, I want to annotate this, but I'm like, wait, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Also, Books with Chloe said this. She said that when she's reading and she's too lazy to put a tab in, she'll just simply put it in her notes on her phone, which I found that useful, but I don't use that tip. Yes, I love annotating, but I don't always annotate because I feel pressured to. Sometimes I might put the tab in, but I might not underline anything because, again, I'm lazy. Let's just get into the equipment I use because I'll explain why I annotate with it. A lot of people have like this little baggie they carry around. I'm not like that. I'm very unorganized. I keep it all in the cup. I keep all my annotating stuff here. I keep my bookmarks, sticky notes, tabs, pens, everything. Like, a lot of people have this color-coded scheme thing. I do have a color-coding system, but I don't have color-coded pens. This video is all over the place. If you don't know, sometimes I break my book into sections. I should have brought a book out that I broke into sections. I'm going to put a picture of what I mean right here of how I section my books. And for those, I use these type of post-it notes. I have other colors. I have a lot of these. I got these on Amazon. If I remember what item it was, I'll link it down. So I love these because they come with a lot and they're just very vibrant. And depending on the cover of the book that I'm going to be tabbing up, I use that color. And then for taking notes, I use these big post-it notes. I use the brand Post-it. I don't use those rip-off ones because I tried using Dollar Tree ones, but they just don't stick as well. So I had to go with just regular Post-its. I have to remember all my thoughts throughout the book so I can talk about it in my June wrap-up. And sometimes that's hard because I forget a lot of things because I'm a very forgetful person. It depends what it comes to. It depends. Basically, while I'm reading the book, I'll just like write something. Like, if I feel like it's something like, oh, at first this book is kind of sketchy, I'll just write that down, and then by the end of the book I'll have like a whole little post-it of all my thoughts throughout the book, and then I just stick it in my journal, and then my June wrap-up I just read off of it, and voila, those are all my thoughts. I find that very useful because sometimes I will just be like sitting there blank with the book in my hand, like, what did I even think about it? After I do the June wrap-up, I just take the post-it note and stick it into the book, just in case I want to reread it ever again, and then I could just read what my thoughts were. Another thing I use for annotating are these metal tabs from Amazon. So basically what I use these for is when I have a library book. So for example, I had the Harry Potter paperback, and at the time I liked hardcovers, so I borrowed the hardcover copy from my library, and I was reading off of that one because I didn't want to make any creases in the spine of my paperback. I know I'm weird. So basically, when I felt like annotating in the library book, I just took one of these out and then I put it on the page, and then I would take a little sticky note and write what color it was and why I annotated like that. I feel like this is unnecessary because a lot of people probably won't even do this, but yeah. Also, if I annotate a library book that I don't have a physical copy of, I will just write on a larger sticky note and then just stick it on my wall, because yeah, I'll just stick it on my wall. Thoughts. I did that with an audiobook that I listened to. So I got a sticky note and I wrote all my thoughts while listening to the audiobook, and then I just stick it onto my wall. Well, I stick it in my journal first, and then after I do my wrap up, I put it on the wall. And then a lot of people have colored pens that they use for their color coding. I don't. I just use one pen. I'm basic. I'm not saying just because you have a bunch of colored pens that you're extra. That's not what I'm saying at all. At one point I did have all colored pens, but I just found it very hard to keep track of, and I would always lose them. So I just like having basic pens. I don't even know if these bleed through. I use these on thick pages. So far I've only used them on thick pages, so I don't know if they bleed through. I use this just to underline or to write notes. I just felt like I didn't feel like replacing them afterwards, and I just didn't feel like I would be lazy to open a bunch of different pens. I don't know, I'm really lazy, so I'm basic and I just use one color for all. Next are the tabs that I use. So I use two different tabs. So first off, when I started annotating, I used the tabs from Barnes & Noble. These were like $2.50 something a pack. I cut them in half because there's like 2 sets. I originally started using these. I really liked these. I used these for like a long time, and that's when I had the color coding with the colored pens and stuff like that. For example, I color coded this book with these tabs. They're very bright. And then I started getting into these tabs, which I think Books with Chloe or somebody used these. I know Katie from Katie Reads definitely used these. These are from Amazon. It comes like in a pack of 4 and it's like $6. I'm like, that's a good deal. And I love them. So I love that. And guys, I'm so lazy that I honestly sometimes even use these as bookmarks. So I'm reading this book and then I just used it as a bookmark. I don't know why, I'm just so lazy. I'm going to tell you guys what each color stands for. I use Books with Chloe's method. I really liked her method because I feel like she covered it all. She covered all of the things that you could. Like basically before I started annotating, I was stressing. I was like, I don't even know what color is gonna be what. So I'm gonna tell you my old color coding system versus my new color coding system. My old color coding system was orange stands for characters or any information on important characters. Basically just anything that is described about a character, I would put orange. Blue was just for sad moments, like anything I saw that was sad or made me feel sad or just was depressing. Pink was for romance or favorite scenes or just favorite quotes or anything that I loved. Yellow was for questions, anything that I had questions on or anything that I found suspicious. And green was for relatable. As you can tell, this color coding system wasn't really good because it left out a lot of things such as shocking moments or like angry moments. That versus my new annotating system. I even put a sticky note on the back so I don't forget how to annotate it because sometimes I do get confused. Pink stands for love or quotes that I love or just anything I love in the book. Orange is for Harry Potter spells or relatable moments. I don't really use this for Harry Potter spells, so I just use it for relatable moments or things that remind me of something, or something that give me nostalgic feelings, or just something that reminds me of something. You know what I mean? Yellow is important information, like if they're giving a description of what the character looks like or just giving a description of the setting, the plot. Anything, information, any information they give, I will put a yellow tab. Green is for angry moments, anything that makes me angry, anything that I feel like is sexist or transphobic or anything that I just disagree with, I will put green. Or I'll also put green on parts that characters that I don't like are in. I did that a lot with the book Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix because Professor Umbridge is mad annoying. We're just not going to talk about that. Blue is for sad moments. I think like a lot of people use blue for sad because it makes sense. But yeah, I put blue for sad moments, depressing moments, moments that remind me of sad moments. you know what I mean? Dark purple is shocking moments. I rarely use purple, to be honest, because a lot of books don't really shock me. Usually I read books that have movies, which I've already watched the movie to, so I'm not really shocked. And light purple, which always goes out first, is one of my tabs that always go out first, which is funny, which, to be honest, is not hard to make me laugh. Like, I laugh to anything, so what did I expect? I'm always using up that tab because I'm constantly thinking books are funny. But yeah, that's my color coding system. Also, before, when I didn't have a color coding system, like before when I had these tabs, I would put in the beginning of each book, because I would constantly be changing my annotating colors depending on the book. Like if it was a romance book, I'd probably put pink for love, green for cringy moment. I would honestly always change it depending on the book or depending on the genre of the book. And also, Books with Chloe also said something really like helpful. She said to put a sticky note on the front cover if there are so many characters that you can't keep track of. Just put a sticky note and put all the characters there, so if they mention a character you look back. And then I find that very, very useful, so thank you, Chloe, for that. So now I'm just going to show you examples of annotated books. So obviously I'm going to be showing you this one. So this is what I'm talking about. I didn't always underline it. I'll just simply put a tab, which I regret that. I wish I at least put a little bit of context on what I was thinking, because now I'm just going to read that and I'm going to be like, wait, what did I even think about it? And sometimes I'll underline with a pencil right there. Or if I saw a word that I didn't know, I would look it up and then I'd put it on a sticky note. And at one point I did use a marker. You see, guys? I was not even sticking to the colors. Like, I used a pink pen for a blue tab. Don't ask me what's wrong with me. Sometimes at every 50 pages, I'll put a sticky note and then put thoughts on the last 50 pages, which I also got that tip from Chloe. So that's one book, but this was with my old annotating system. This is with my new annotating system. Here I used pen, yellow. See, I'd honestly sometimes be so lazy to take out a pen and underline that I'll just put a tab in. I don't know. That's honestly how I annotate. I have many more books that are annotated, but I just didn't feel like taking them out. I'm so freaking lazy. But that is what I use to annotate. That is why I annotate. I annotate because I love the way it looks at the end, or I just like seeing the colors. It's really nice to do that when you're gonna go back and reread it, and then you could just see your thoughts and see how they change. Also, if annotating is not for you, like if you just don't like the tabs, you could simply do it with sticky notes. Like I know for sure when I started off annotating, I didn't even have tabs. I used sticky notes and I just stick them in there and write my initial thoughts. A lot of people don't like annotating because they don't like writing in their books, which sometimes I also agreed with when I started off reading. I was like, how can people write in their books? A lot of people don't like writing in their books because they're like, what if I don't like it? And what if I want to get rid of it? Well, you probably might not want to annotate if you might get rid of your books. But I know I'm not getting rid of my books. I want to do a collection. Like, I want to grow my collection out, and I want to keep all my books. I don't even care if they're bad books. I still want to keep them because my opinion might change over time. And it would also be nice to lend these out to your friends. I don't lend books out to my friends. My friends don't even read. But, like, it would be nice to lend them out to your family members, like my mom. Like, I could give this to her, and while she's reading it, she could see my thoughts. And basically, I feel like it would be a nice experience for somebody else to read an annotated book. And also, I feel like annotated books have more value, so even if you want to get rid of it, I feel like people would appreciate an annotated book, because it's like buddy reading it with someone. You're seeing somebody's thoughts throughout it. I feel like that's really nice. I don't know. I just love that. Annotating books is a work of art in itself. And yeah, to be honest, I want to reread a lot of books simply for the purpose of wanting to annotate. Yeah, so that's how I annotate. Guys, so thanks for watching. Peace out. And I'll see you in my next video. I think my next video is going to be a wrap-up. I said that in my last, like my other video before my bookshelf tour, and then that never happened. Pretty sure the next video you're gonna see is my June wrap-up, which I have a lot of books that I have to finish. But yeah, guys, so thanks for watching.